The Dallas Cowboys defense takes a big blow with the heart of that D, Sean Lee, out for up to a month. I'm Jim Basquill, joined by Eric Allen. And Eric, we saw what this defense did or didn't do on Sunday night once he departed. 49-17. New Orleans did whatever they wanted on offense. How much of an impact will that have on the Dallas State?
Well, this may be one of the best middle linebackers in all the game. You know, you talk about him, Luke Kuechly, a couple other guys, but he's a tremendous player. Monty Kiffin's defense has not played well. This cover two scheme, you need that middle linebacker to be able to do everything. Drop in the middle of the football field, attack the run, get guys lined up. He was doing the best of anyone. I'm not sure if anyone can replace Sean Lee, and then with this defense giving up 240 yards rushing against the Saints the other day, you have to deal with the screen and draw game when you're in cover two. Not a good matchup. I wouldn't want to be the middle linebacker trying to fill Sean Lee's shoes with this defense and Monty Kiffin calling it. I expect, though, a little change here. Maybe more pressure from a zone concept, and that's what needs to happen. You need to attack a little bit more, Jim, opposed to playing soft, bend, but don't break.
Great point you make here. That player, by the way, is Justin Durant, former Lion, that steps in for Lee. But the Monty Kiffin defense, there's been a lot of talk in Dallas about, you know, maybe they shouldn't have fired Ryan. Maybe they should have kept him. He was a little bit more aggressive. They got more results maybe out of that defense. What do you make of the Monty Kiffin defense in terms of what it's produced thus far and, as you mentioned, what adjustment it needs to make?
Right, Jim, going forward, I think he needs to change, and it's going to be a difficult change because Monty Kiffin has been playing this kind of defense for a long time. He's had great success in Tampa Bay, a little bit in New Orleans, but again, you've seen this defense kind of spread all over the National Football League, going to the Colts, the Minnesota Vikings, but now with the spread offenses, it's very difficult for you to play this cover scheme, cover two, and be effective each and every down. This basically was a kind of defense that, you know, it was two backs, and you were able to have that linebacker buzz the middle of the football field to take away that tight end. But now you have such tremendous athletes are in the slot, and then you have the quarterback who's able to run. We saw a lot of this at USC with Monty Kiffin. That's why he didn't have a lot of success at USC going against Oregon and some of the other teams that run the spread offense. So again, now that the spread is one of the offenses that you will see consistently on the Sunday League, it's very difficult for the cover two scheme to be effective, particularly if going against a guy like Drew Brees. Come to the line of scrimmage, you see four down linemen, and that's all you see. You know it's zone defense. You're going to pick them apart, screen and draw game, and then you have to find a way to be able to attack offenses. Right now, Monty Kiffin needs to be in the bunker, finding ways to zone dog teams really bring the pressure to offenses.
In essence, it's a different NFL now than when he was at the high of his heyday as a defensive coordinator.
Right.
When you look at the Dallas Cowboys, and we've talked over and over about this, and granted, Sean Lee is one of the top players on that team. We always hear about they have so much talent. They have so much talent. This Cowboys team, they always pick them to win the division. 8-8, 8-8. 5-5. That's what they are under Jason Garrett in the last 3 seasons. Where do you start with the Cowboys to get them to be as good in terms of the results as the talent?
Yeah, many people are not going to hear this, but you need a coaching change. You need someone who's going to come in as a coach in the form of a Belichick, a Parcells, a guy who's not going to be a nice guy, who's going to hold everyone accountable. He's going to set the tone early in the season, and then he's going to allow the locker room really to really set the tone as far as what you expect from your teammates. Right now, I'm not sure if these guys are playing to the excellent level that they should be playing at. You're talking about personnel-wise, there's no other team in the National Football League when you line up on day one that have the kind of athletes and personnel that the Dallas Cowboys have. They have the greatest facility. They have the greatest field. They have maybe the best owner in the National Football League. But their coach is too nice, basically, and he's a good guy, but they need someone who's going to hold everyone in that building accountable each and every week until they start to play to the level of the Dallas Cowboys, opposed to playing to the level of their opponent. They're always going to be an average, 500 football team.
Let me play devil's advocate just a little here, though.
All right.
Would the owner be wise to maybe hire a GM instead of him having the job?
I think we all understand that that may be a good deal, but that's not going to happen. So the alternate thing to do is to hire a head coach who's going to come into the office and say, hey, Mr. Jones, this is how I need to get it done. Yeah. I need to have it this way. I'm going to get fired, and I'd rather get fired my way than trying to be a nice guy and do it your way. We need the Dallas Cowboys to really represent what everyone else thinks they represent. They're the number one franchise in all of football, in our average football team. Just imagine what this franchise could be about if they were a winning franchise. Need a new coach to do that, though.
The owner will not fire the owner. Again, Sean Lee is out for up to a month. That left hamstring injury. You can read more about this story right here on ESPN.com. For Eric Allen, I'm Jim Basquel. Keep up with the NFL by keeping it right here for news, highlights, and analysis at ESPN.com.